Welcome to Pick and Licks, the Dream Band podcast, with me, Danny Beardsley, and my co-host, Dan Dan. Pick and Licks. Hey, dude.
Dude.
How are you?
I am all good, thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Very well. I'm ready for the weekend.
Oh, it's always good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when it's nice weather like it currently is.
Is it?
Oh, it's been nice today.
Down.
Yeah, but I like a bit of rain, you know me.
You like a bit of rain?
I'm not a warm man. I'm a man of cold.
You are a man of cold. You're designed for the cold, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a layer of blubber, a thick layer of blubber that keeps me warm during the winter years.
The winter years?
The winter days, the winter nights, the winter years.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I had a lovely little walk around Wollerton Park and Wollerton Hall the other day.
Nice.
I saw the gorilla, the classic gorilla.
Did you see anything else there?
Oh, I saw the miniature thing, the miniature collection. We had to look through the little microscopes, and there's like a tiny little figure on like inside the eye of a needle that has been painted with a fly's eyelash.
It's crazy.
It's mental.
You remember on one of the episodes we were talking about textures, that song that was called Shaping a Singular Grain of Sand or whatever it was?
Yes.
It's possible.
It is possible, and you can paint it with whatever tiny creature's eyelash that you want, or a hair from its leg. I don't know. Take your pick.
Like a locust pube or something.
I don't know if locusts go through puberty. Can we fact check that, please? Just a couple of things. So firstly, the miniature exhibition at Wollerton Hall is by Dr. Willard Wigan, MBE. Also, after extensive research and Googling on the life cycle of locusts, it appears they have no pubes. Thank you for listening. That's got a bit weird, hasn't it? What have you been up to?
We've been watching a lot of the Olympics.
Indeed. What's been your favourite event so far?
Probably the skateboarding.
Oh,
I really, really enjoyed the skateboarding.
Skater boy.
Snoop Dogg was there this time.
Of course he was.
With Tony Hawk.
Of course. Who else?
They were there in the crowd giving it some.
I quite enjoyed like the weird ones. There was that like canoeing one where they just get like dropped off like a massive, I don't know, like a little plank in the sky, get dropped in and then just belting each other with the sticks. Judo's always good fun.
I think in some of these sports I don't know what the rules are, so I'm watching it thinking...
Yeah, like fencing. Who knows the rules for fencing?
Oh, I didn't see any fencing.
And then there's that weird little biking thing we've just been watching where I don't even know what's happening.
They've got a strange helmet on, haven't they? Like, it's like that... You remember that like 1980s film where there's like a spaceship that comes down and it's shaped like that?
Which one are you on about?
It's like a silver kind of spaceship that appears, it's like invisible.
Can you give me any more details of the film?
There's an alien.
Is it a kind alien or a unkind alien?
The film is called Flight of the Navigator and it's from 1986. It's an hour and a half long and the synopsis is 1978, a boy travels 8 years into the future and has an adventure with an intelligent, wisecracking alien ship. The alien happens to look like a shaved ball bag.
Move on from that now. What about what else have you been watching on the Olympics? Anything that astounds you?
A lot of the actual gymnastics.
Oh yeah, that tumbling, is it?
The floor stuff.
Yeah, it was just like jump and spin about 1 million times.
I'm like watching it thinking, that's not possible. How can you do that?
I simply do not have facilities to perform any kind of somersault from a standing position.
I've seen you do a roly-poly before.
Yeah, pretty slow. I think I headbutted the floor.
You like hammer punched the floor with your skull.
Yeah. It wasn't graceful, it wasn't agile, it wasn't pleasing to see or watch.
It was hilarious though.
Yeah, that's a different sport. That's not Olympic style, is it? That's comedy Olympics.
Yeah.
Which I
gold medal in a hilarity.
As a new show, we get like Peter Kay doing like pole vault or something, I don't know.
There was that guy on pole vault you were telling me about.
Oh yeah. He knocked off the pole with his pole. Unlucky.
How did
lucky.
He described his package.
He could feed a family of 4 with his barbecue meat pack.
Any other sports that you?
I don't know. I've enjoyed all the little controversies there's been. Like, do you see the shooting where she kind of hit the target?
She definitely hit the target.
Definitely hit the target. A bit flew off, but sorry, silver medal only for you. I like the drama. That's what I'm watching the Olympics for.
What about, have you watched any swimming? Swimming's been good.
A little bit. I like the synchronised diving. That was banging.
Oh, God, that's amazing.
The Chinese, they were like...
Yeah, they were awesome, weren't they?
Like watching one person in 2 bodies. Maybe it was. Maybe they got the technology in China for that to happen. I don't know.
We did see some that were like... It was like they were 4 years apart.
Yeah, completely like unsynchronised diving. It's like they were trying to be unsynchronised. I mean, I'd be great at that, unsynchronised diving.
It was like the Lars Ulrich of diving. out of time and
very poor. Sorry, Lars. Hope you're not listening. Talking of listening, what have you been listening to this week?
that was smooth. I like that.
I know, I'm a man that likes a good sieg.
I've gone back in time to 1977
Oh, God.
to an album called Out of the Blue by a band called ELO.
You just played a bit and actually got some classic songs.
Electric Light Orchestra with Jeff Lynne, the frontman. His melodies are incredible, and like the layers of the backing vocals, how they kind of like play off the lead vocal. Yeah, we just had a listen to, what was the track? Sweet Talking Woman.
Great
and
track,
it's just,
yeah. Even I like it. I can't. I don't like the stuff that Danny listens to, but actually, I've got to give it to him this time. It's a great track.
It was a great reaction because you just wanted to shoot me down. You're like, oh, actually,
I can't fault it.
Yeah, like the verse starts, doesn't it? You got a couple of melodies in there, and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. And then it gets to a pre-chorus, which you think is a chorus, and then it just keeps building.
It's hook after hook, and like you said, you think surely there can't be anything catchier than this, and there is. It's just around the corner,
and there is.
But it's not just the vocals, it's not just the harmonies, it's every bit. So the drums, it's
incredible arrangements.
It is incredible.
Incredible arrangements.
I resolve myself to saying that it is incredible.
Dan, I know that you've probably not been listening to ELO, but I know you've been listening to something else that's an acronym.
Oh, yeah. I've been listening to AFI this week.
Very different.
Very different. A Fire Inside. It stands for, I don't know if you knew that, Danny. You're not really, are you a fan? I don't think you really are you?
It's not that I'm not a fan, I've just not spent much time listening to it. What you've shown me, I think it's cool, but I think I've got to be in a particular mindset.
They're very varied. So the first two albums are like extreme, like full on like punk rock, like really, and then the two albums after that go into like darker punk rock.
Is it a bit like hardcore? Does it fall into that?
Especially the first few. I suppose they had a couple of albums of more kind of stadium rock-esque stuff, big choruses, etc.
Oh, every band does that at some point.
And the newer stuff's just a bit boring. It's a bit
like middle of the road.
But I listened to the album this week, December Underground by them.
Yeah,
and I never really liked it when it came out because I thought it was too, I thought it was too poppy and it annoyed me a little bit. They weren't playing what they used to play. But it's a banging album. Listen to it earlier. Like, I can't fault it.
I can fault it. I've just listened to it and I don't like it.
Do you like his voice? He's got quite a distinctive...
It's quite brash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very MIDI.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cuts very well.
It cuts very well.
Yeah. You need that with that kind of intense mix, don't you? You need a voice that's going to cut through everything.
But I listened to the album again and I was like, I probably should have given it a better chance back in the day.
I'll have a listen to that album then.
I don't think you'll like it.
Okay.
It's not blues.
Here we go.
It's not boring. It's quite exciting, actually. There's not many solos, if any.
I don't have to listen to solos. There's this misconception that I have to have guitar solos and things to enjoy it. I actually find myself enjoying music more, like just not listening to the guitar solos now. I think it's an age thing.
Yeah, probably. But
I'd rather hear a nice, catchy chorus.
Everyone loves a good, catchy chorus,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
they?
definitely.
I'm just going to get this in quickly, because I know you don't like it either, but I've watched House of the Dragon this week, the finale. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you don't like it anyway, do you?
Well, Game of Thrones is a bit hit and miss for me.
Oh, this season has been poor, honestly. Poor at best. It felt like felt like a trailer for the next season. So I feel like, what's the point? The last episode, you expect a grand finale, don't you?
It's disappointing, isn't it, when you've invested all that time?
Yeah, all it was like literally a montage at the end, and then nothing. For another 2 years.
Did they put the light on, though, at the end? So like Game of Thrones, it was like someone forgot to put the lights on.
Oh, it's not.
It's dark, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay.
We're not in the
dark age.
We're not in the dark times, no. Anything else, Danny, you want to bring up before we start today's podcast?
We're off to Cadbury's World at the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna eat lots of chocolate.
Yeah, there's a little ride there, isn't there, where you little ride around.
What, you ride through the chocolate?
No, unfortunately, it's not like
Willy
Wonka's
Wonka's
experience, no. Yeah. Unfortunately. If they had a river of chocolate, Daddy, I'd be there every day. With a little mug.
In backstroke.
I'd drown. The kiddies don't want to see that. My lifeless corpse bobbing in a chocolate soup.
Don't want to see you in your Speedos.
With some goggles on.
and a hairnet for your beard, so you don't get any facial pubes in the in the chocolate.
Cheers for calling my beard facial pubes. Cheers, dude.
It's only because I can't grow one.
I mean, you try.
Oh, well.
Is that the same grove from when we first met?
From when we first met, yeah, like 14 years ago.
It simply will not get any longer. No maintenance needed.
Yeah, low maintenance facial hair. Anyway, should we crack on?
Yeah, I mean, who is it this week?
Simon Clements.
Simon Clements. Clemo, a massive grunge fan. There's no one I know that advocates for grunge as much as Simon Clements, as you'll soon see.
What a massive wind-up. He will not like that you've said that, Dan. Well, let's start then.
Enjoy the podcast.
Boom.
So who have we got in the studio today? In Totally Radical Studios.
We've got an excellent local guitarist, singer-songwriter. He's looking around the room. He's incredibly modest as well. Simon Clements.
Hello.
Hi, Simon.
Sorry, it's not a very rock and roll name.
Mine is not.
Yeah, but Danny, I think Danny's got a slight, very slight, more rock and roll age than Simon.
Well, we asked Danny what name he'd choose if he could choose any different name.
Yeah, but you put me on the spot.
And he chose Wolfhammer. So if you had to choose a different name...
Right.
Well, I can tell you this now, and it's not much better, right? But my name is Simon Clements, and I once got a letter addressed to Simno Elements.
Simno Elements?
Yeah.
There you go.
So they got the first couple of letters, and just two letters were different, and I thought, that's my stage name.
It sounds like you're in an industrial...
Yeah.
It does, yeah. I mean,
or like Kraftwerk or something like that. Yeah.
It's definitely better than Wolfhammer.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. It's horrendous.
Oh, sorry, Danny Wolfhammer, wasn't it?
Danny Wolfhammer.
Yeah.
Danny Wolfhammer.
Yeah. I slammed the name Danny in front of
Yeah, keep the rock and roll, Danny.
Danny Wolfhammer. Bloody hell. So yeah, welcome, Simon.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
That's great.
We've been I've certainly been looking forward to what you're going to come up with because I like your taste in music.
Oh, okay.
And you've
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
been to see all the
the cool bands.
all the cool bands in concert.
I'm old enough.
I mean, you're not that much older than.
Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah.
We'll cut that bit out anyway.
Yeah. I have seen Dr. Hook.
Ha! We didn't cut it out.
So it don't get much cooler than that, does it? Come on. I saw Dr. Hook when I was 11 years old.
Dr. Hook?
You must know Dr. Hook.
What was that?
What's her name? Sylvia's... I can't think how it goes now. When you're in love with a beautiful woman.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to
So
say
that went right over your head then, didn't it? Yeah. All right.
Dr. Hook.
Cut that out.
So Simon, what are you doing at the minute? What were you in a band?
So I have the dubious pleasure of having been in a band with my brother-in-law for, 22 years, nearly.
Wow.
That makes me sound really old, doesn't it? Yeah.
You get on then, that's good.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to split up with a band when it's family, isn't it? But so originally when we started out, we were a band called Three Ring Circus.
Yeah.
We played with one of your previous bands at Ilkeston once. Yeah,
That's what I remember.
I have told you that before, but obviously forgot.
No, because we was talking about this before you got here.
Yeah.
Wait, was it at the factory?
It
by
was.
any chance?
Oh,
yeah.
fuck
Yeah,
it.
I remember, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck, what?
So we started that 2000 and I'm going to get this wrong and get in terrible trouble. I think 2002, something like that.
I bet it was around that time.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we did all right to start with. We were probably just like caught at the end of that halcyon days when people actually bought music.
Yeah.
So we got signed, got quite a good distribution deal, and then it all fell apart. Usual story.
The classic.
Yeah, usual story. You get signed. Anything good that happened was what we did. The record label guy did absolutely bugger all.
Yeah.
And you just,
Yeah.
band members start to think, well, we've not made it in 2 hours,
Yeah.
But obviously, Russ and I, having a strong bond, we just kept going. So we've been playing as the Nightwires for about, 10 years maybe now.
Yeah.
Went sort of more down acoustic direction, although we did then sort of put a band back together a bit and do some electric gigs. But we are basically playing like an acoustic duo now.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I've, going back to the football analogy, I've been in quite a rich vein of form with songwriting recently. I've written about 17, 18 songs over the last 6 months or so.
Oh, decent.
All acoustic, and that's a lot of lyrics for me.
Yeah,
That's
it's a lot of content, isn't
I'm
it?
usually the music guy.
Yeah.
So I do
Yeah.
the music and give it to Russell, and he does this thing because he's brilliant at writing lyrics. But yeah, it's amazing what a bit of stress does for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It gives you something to write about.
I've never been able to write like this, and that's because I've had a stressful few months for
Yeah.
one reason or another. So
Well, they say that good art comes from suffering, don't
yeah,
they? So,
exactly right. It is.
yeah.
If you're in a good, I find it virtually impossible to write lyrics if I'm feeling in a good mood. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't write many songs in major keys.
Yeah. Well, happy songs are probably the hardest to write, I think.
Exactly right, because they end up sounding like Shiny Happy People, which is, you know, even R.E.M. don't like that song. So I mean, I don't know what I'm hoping to try. So the Nightwise have got quite a few gigs booked for September, October time, and I'm hoping to slot a few, just dip my toes in the water, just to try out a few of my own songs as well, because I'm not getting any younger, so I thought, bugger it, let's give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's quite different. I don't know how you find it, because you're probably a bit similar in that you've been in bands, and then over recent years you've started singing and playing more. It's harder because you still got the guitar to hide behind, but you're not hiding anymore. Because you've actually got to sing the words you've written. Yeah,
you become more of the, well, for the lack of a better term, the front man of the actual thing, don't you? And it's a different hat you've got to wear. Yeah,
Russ and I playing together for all those years. I keep my head down and play the guitar. Very rarely look up, and he's got to look out people. So, you know, it's a skill that I know that he's developed, and he's really, we get quite a lot of compliments that we've got. I shouldn't. You said I was modest, but I think we have got quite a good stage banter and presence going. But so it'll be interesting to see how I can actually get on in putting my own stuff. But I'm going to give it a go. Why not?
Have you done any at all yet? Any shows yourself?
No. I was actually, I've just come back from a holiday and I was supposed to be doing something down in Devon while I was down there, but I got ill. So I had to cancel it, unfortunately.
That's the downside of vocals as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I got a terrible ear infection. I couldn't even hear myself speak. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, so that was really annoying because I was all psyched up for it on holiday, you know.
There's a great open mic night in Nottingham that we've been to a few times.
The Saltbox. Me and Danny messaged. Yeah, I think I'll have to try and come down with you.
Come and join us. And
it's a great night. It's great.
It looks decent. I'm going there for a gig in October near the Ice Arena.
Yeah, next to it.
It's the pub right next to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a sports bar at the moment.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
I've been told that they are kind of transforming it into more of a
live
music venue. Wow, it's really cool vibe in there.
Cool.
And so
no, I'm definitely up for going down and having a look. Yeah,
definitely.
Open mics are a difficult thing. Again, without sounding like a pretentious git, when you've been playing for a long time, you think, opinion coming up. Open mic, I'm a bit past that, but that one does look good.
Yeah, it is very good.
It's really good.
In fact, when you're sitting there waiting to go on, there's all these amazing. I mean, last time we were there, it was just R&B soul singers.
Yeah,
it was
Oh, it was incredible.
I
don't know if I want to go out now because that was ridiculous.
I mean, how do you go on after some of those girls? They were incredible, weren't they?
I think you just have to accept the fact that they are singers, and I'm.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a guitar player that sings.
Yeah. That's exactly how I see myself. So it's a good, like you say, it's one of those things that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah,
and I just thought, well, if I don't have a go, I'm never going to do it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But yeah, let us know, and
we'll
come down.
We'll all come.
Yeah.
So any plans with recording your material and stuff?
I've recorded 10 of them so far, and you know what happens? You do it, and then you leave it a bit to settle, and then you keep listening to them and thinking, I don't know.
You could do that
forever.
Are they
any good?
You could do that forever.
Yeah, and I've always been like that. I've always procrastinated. That's the word.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably out of the 10 I've done so far, there's 5 that I reckon are ready to be out there.
Yeah, get yourself an EP out then.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
I mean, ask you guys, what do you think about? Have we got to be on Spotify these days? Even though it's
yes,
I suppose we have, haven't we?
Because in what I'm finding is you cannot sell CDs.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Like nobody uses CD players anymore.
I forgot I had one in my car. I forgot I had one in my car until the other day, and I pressed it. I was like, oh,
I do, but I'm probably part of a dying breed.
Yeah, I do as well.
Unfortunately,
the people that I'm playing to.
Say all that though, Danny. What you've got? So 2 years ago, you know, I did that tour with Ryan Hamilton.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was talking about that as well.
The amount of merch and stuff that he was making all the money from merch, which included the CD sales, and then other members of his band. I mean, some of that, particularly his ex. I have to be careful what I say, but his old keyboard player. I mean, she's really good, and she does a lot of touring. She does a lot of vinyl, which is a slightly different thing, isn't it? Because the vinyl revival, but
it's more of a collectible
they are still
thing.
A lot of those people. I still think are still relying on selling some physical.
I mean, I would still buy a CD if I really saw a band and really liked it, but I wouldn't necessarily.
It's not
buy a CD outside of the live setting.
I just find, Oh, this is a debate for another time, isn't it? But just the whole Spotify model, and I think I can't think what his name is. The guy who's the. I'm going on a rant now. Look, I said I want to.
I agree. Spotify is the whole industry is kind of shit nowadays.
The guy who's the owner or CEO or whatever,
the Swedish guy,
said the other day something along the lines of, "It doesn't take that much effort and time for people to make air quotes content." He means it doesn't take much time for people to put their heart and soul into making music so he can be a billionaire. You know what I mean?
Comments
something
like
along those lines.
They're not helpful, are they?
No. So then it makes you think.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that. Yeah. But, it's hard, isn't it? Because, you play a gig and someone, you're on Spotify. Oh, well, not a minute. But you know what I mean? So it's difficult. It's like the whole art against artist, against salesperson, against you've got to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
It's a really tough one, isn't it?
The last gig I played, the promoter said to me, I gave him a couple of CDs, and he was like, "Oh, Sand, have you got any T-shirts?" I was like, "Oh, no, I haven't got any T-shirts yet." And he said, like, you're missing a treat.
Yeah.
He said it's all in T-shirts, because it's like free promotion as somebody's got a T-shirt off you.
Again, I don't want to back. When I did that tour with Ryan, we had to, halfway through the tour, he did a reprint, and we had to go and pick him up and, just to restock, because he sold them all.
Yeah.
Sold them all. And there's a good markup there.
Yeah.
Anything like that, even badges.
I'm a badger. I'm digging a burrow. It's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
it's depressed now.
As far as streaming, mate,
you need to get yourself out there.
You've got to get on it. I know.
But I think you have got the option of you can pick and choose which ones you want to be streaming on. So you don't necessarily have to be on Spotify.
Yeah, if you go through something like DistroKid, or something like that, or
so you can pick and choose.
What's the other one? The other big one, DistroKid.
Is it called CD Baby?
Yeah, CD Baby. We've been on there before. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's Bandcamp. I think they're pretty good at.
I think Bandcamp.
You can stream and sell on there as well, can't you? So
definitely.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to, once someone's seen you and wants to kind of gets home and wants to search you just need to have some presence there. Something
but
for
I
them
guess
to...
nowadays people are buying the physical product, not necessarily to listen to. Like a guy that I know of that we've done a few gigs with in the past, he's just putting his latest DP out on cassette. He's not going on Spotify.
Cassette?
Yeah, on cassette.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And people will buy it because it's just a great physical thing to look at. And I'm sure he'll have other ways for people to listen to it.
Yep.
But anyway, there we go. We better talk about what we're here for, don't we? Otherwise, I'll keep going.
No. We're all good. We're all good. There's no stress with anything.
No.
We're nice and chill.
Absolutely. I think we can start
the dream band process.
Let's start the dream band process.
Should we call it that for now?
So, are you aware that you are in this band? Because there's been a couple of guests that have been completely unaware of this.
I read the email that I was sent. Yeah,
that's the difference. I think that's what it is. You can read.
That's good. Some of our previous guests, unfortunately, didn't seem like they could read. Putting that out there. So you're in this band,
right? That's good. I like the sound of that.
You're the creator, and you are in the band.
Yeah.
What position are you going to take?
Saxophonist. No.
Well, if you like.
Yeah. I suppose I'll say rhythm guitar player.
Okay.
But there's no reason why you can't just venture out a little bit, innit? I mean, I'll try and not make this like a Pearl Jam fest, right? But as I got more and more into playing guitar, my guy was Stone Gossard from Pearl Jam. Yeah. So I really got into like thinking rhythm guitar. I write the song, so I'll stay on that lane. Yeah. But obviously, as you get older, you just want to do a bit of whittling, don't you? Yeah. But I'm happy to be the rhythm guitarist, songwriter, take all the money.
That's you know what? That's perfect. That is exactly.
I'm not implying I've ever made much money from it, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
I don't think any of us have.
It seems like a myth, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Money
from music?
Yeah.
What? Anyway, Danny, it's your little turn to remind Simon of the rules. He's read the email.
Top of the rules, baby.
He's read the email. We're going to run you through the rules.
I would rather you go through it again because I don't want to get angry.
Just
like
for clarity.
For clarity, and I don't get angry like I have been recently.
Right. So, no current or past band members can be in this dream band.
No problem.
Yep.
Some feedback on past band members there.
Not the singer. Anyway, go on, move on.
Yeah, we're about to move on.
And you can't choose more than one member from the same band.
So you can't just pick Pearl Jam.
No,
Yeah.
damn. Yeah, but what about if you get around to some honourable mentions? Could they possibly, if they're a different instrument?
Yeah. Honourable mentions is fine.
Right, fine.
They could be anyone.
We might not get that far if I keep talking, but go on.
No. And then the other thing is, we've also had a question about if the person has done like a side project, has like, done a song here or there,
right,
or been on stage with that band. Yeah, we don't mind that either. It's if they've been an official member of that band.
Yeah, I could see this could be uncomfortable if someone's not read this email and then
uncomfortable for us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I hope I've done it right.
We've had a couple of instances we've had to.
I said no. I put my foot down.
We've had to shut them down.
Was that last? When was that one?
A
couple of episodes ago.
That was the last one.
Yeah,
I can't remember what went wrong exactly, but
I put my foot down.
I think you chose a bass player who had been in a project with the drummer and was like, "No,
absolutely not.
Get back in your lane."
So we don't want to scare you at all, Simon.
No,
but
I think I'm all right.
We will use Google if needed.
Yeah, I mean, there might be an instance, we might not know now, but when we start evaluating, we might find out afterwards.
I can have a right to reply. We'll change my choice.
We'll avoid the band.
All right, hang on.
We'll disband.
I think I'm all right, because I've not been in a band with any of these. So that's
Okay, so
they can be dead or alive as well. That's another thing, so it doesn't matter.
We have the power to resurrect.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
Indeed.
I am genuinely worried now. I think I'm all right.
Don't worry. It's fun.
No, do worry.
Yeah.
You picked up on the good part.
I don't want to be voided.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna work through member by member, and we're gonna start with
your
dream
drummer.
Right. Well, all these are hard, right? Because
it's a tough thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because the guitar player, goes without saying, is very hard, right? Yeah. But then you think they're all hard, and then I'm sure I don't know with anyone else, but you like I want to say some names that are not too obvious, but that are not too out there.
Yeah,
because you want to have something to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Anyway, right, drummer then. So.
I'll stop you.
Sorry.
Do you have any honourable mentions for your drummer first? I like the build up.
Do you want to?
I like the slow build.
Well, we have been doing it that way around, haven't we?
I like the slow build. Like,
There's a couple of obvious ones. I mean, no one who's into rock can not say like Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, but I mean, Chad Smith. I think.
Oh yeah,
the groove.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Strong groove.
The groove.
Who does he look like? He looks
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Like Will Ferrell.
Yeah. But I mean, there's not many drummers. I don't know about you two that I could actually sit and listen to play.
Yeah, I watched. It randomly came up on YouTube after when you leave it running and stuff comes up.
Yeah,
just him on his own doing like a drum solo thing for 10 minutes.
There's a good documentary on Netflix called "Count Me In." Have you watched it?
Yeah.
It's really good.
I've seen it once, but
very good.
Yeah. So Chad Smith, you got to say, I'm going to say Matt Cameron because not just for Pearl Jam, but I mean he was in Soundgarden, so come on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Didn't you?
No, I didn't know that.
Seriously?
No. I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
He's very ignorant towards drummers, that he is.
I'm not ignorant towards drummers.
And I'm going to say...
He is.
Sorry. And then the other one, which, like a session guy, is, and I'm always struggling with his name, so I've written it down, is Kenny Aronoff, who I first came across him, I hope this is not too esoteric, but because I really got into John Mellencamp, because David Grissom.
Okay, yeah.
That's how I first discovered Grissom. And Kenny Aronoff was in the band with Grissom at the time.
Yep.
Fantastic drummer. And then he's done sessions for the Stones, Dylan.
Oh, wow,
I think he's done some for Bowie, through to recently, who did I read? I think he's done some stuff with Lady Gaga. So he's a great drummer.
It's nice to hear some of these session players. We've got one mentioned on the last on a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah,
and it is nice because they're kind of unsung heroes, aren't they? Really? So on so many of these tracks that we all know.
Yeah.
But they never get them. Yeah. No one never knows who they are.
No, exactly right. Yeah. So I mean, you could just keep naming drummers, couldn't you? That you like.
I'm going to stop you there. No more.
No more drummers. Yeah.
I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
Let's get on to your dream drummer choice.
Right. Well, I've gone for Alex Van Halen.
Alex Van Halen.
Oh, okay.
And what band does he play for?
Oh, I wonder.
Oasis. Anyway, yeah. Quite sad, actually. I think he's basically packing up now. He's been selling off loads of his stuff because obviously his brother's no longer here, and I guess why would he want to play with anybody else?
Well, how long have they been together? Like, do you know what I mean?
God, was it? Yeah, I mean,
it's not like played together as kids, didn't they?
Yeah. They were both classically trained pianists, I believe. And then, I mean, if you think from Van Halen, early 70s, I mean...
40 years?
Yeah, so I got into Van Halen, again, to age me, when I got one of the albums on cassette out from the library. And I think I'd heard I knew the name, but I didn't really know, and it was the OU812. OU812 album. I came to love that, but I guess I really got into them like early 90s when For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge came out.
Yeah.
The drums at the start of Pound Cake.
Yeah.
Before Eddie does the drill. I mean, come on, what a drums. His drums always sound like massive.
Yeah. I really like the early, like the first couple of albums with the production.
Yeah.
So raw.
Yeah.
And it's, if you've got headphones, I don't know if you've listened to Van Halen through headphones, Dan, but...
Probably not for years and years and years.
It's just one guitar.
Yeah.
With extreme left?
Pretty extreme.
Right, yeah.
And then bass on the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they do something with the reverbs, don't they? They send reverbs to each speaker. I really like it. It creates so much space and it gives it that kind of live feel.
Yeah.
And then it leaves space for the drums as well.
So if you think about like the start of that song, Pound Cake, the drums are enormous.
About Hot for Teacher, the weird thing he does with the kick on that.
Yeah. But I'm only saying this song because I listened to For an Awful Kind of Knowledge a couple of days ago, just before, when I was trying to think, who am I going to go for on some of these? And just that song in particular, it's the whole thing, because I was like really getting into like rock guitar at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that the drums are so big, but so are the other instruments. So is the guitar still.
Yeah.
They're not getting in each other's way. So, after much thought, that's who I'm going to go with.
Brilliant. That's a really strong choice.
It's a great choice, isn't it?
Yeah, we're off to a good start.
Have
you seen Van Halen at all?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah,
No.
it's the band that got away for me.
Yeah.
I wish I'd been able to see them.
Yeah, no, I think they're probably, them and Nirvana, well, I'd not seen Pearl Jam at Rock City in like 91 or something, but I wasn't quite into them then. But probably not seeing Nirvana and not seeing Van Halen. Yeah.
It's things like that kill you, don't it? You know, some bands you just miss somehow.
Yeah. Yes.
The ones that got away.
Speaking of like really like incredible acts that nobody gets to see, my dad's uncle didn't see him, but was stood outside the pub when they come over to play. Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and he said
one.
He said at the time, because he's seen everyone, but at the time it was like, we need to go and see this guy. He's like, he's incredible. And he was somewhere like Newark or Grantham or something daft. And he just couldn't get in the venue, but he stood out and listened to the entire
Jimi Hendrix
gig
in Newark.
Yeah.
Live in Newark.
I might have the.
It might not be Newark.
It might not be Newark. It might not be Newark, but it was pretty local to where we are. So, but
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Crazy.
Right.
Next up,
your
we
expertise.
have your dream bass player. Right. And it better be a good one, because it'll make me cry otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Any honourable mentions first?
Honourable mentions. Again, Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam, just because I think he's such a cool dude. And he's like 62 now, and he looks about 38. You know, he's he's the heart of the band in some ways. But
does he look the same age as me then?
Are you 38?
I think I am. No, this year I am.
You're 38 this year.
I am this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You could be brothers. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google him later. Just Googled him, and he does, in fact, look younger than me, and he is 62. It's mad.
But again, bass player. I mean, I think bass players unfortunately get overlooked a lot, don't they?
Yes, they do. I agree completely.
Yeah. And when the bass isn't there, it's like, something's missing.
I mean,
wait till I'm gone.
I mean, by some miracle, I do some bass lessons, right? And like, for example, I'm a massive REM fan.
Yeah.
Mark Mills, massively overlooked as a bass player. The bass line to Man on the Moon is pretty simple, but it's the melodic thing. Dum, bum, 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 bum. It's what you hear at the start of the song. You don't hear Peter Buck sliding his C chord up to the D position. You hear that bass, you know. So
simple but effective, isn't it?
Exactly right. Yeah. Right. Shall I say what it is then?
Yes.
Geddy Lee, Rush.
Geddy Lee, yes. Oh my God.
What a great choice.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
That's a very strong rhythm section.
It is, yeah.
It's incredible.
It's not going to get much better than that, is it? No. So
I wasn't expecting that. It's a brilliant choice.
Yeah. I first started buying Rush records like mid-90s when a lot of the bands that I was into started saying, what you're in for? Oh, Rush, love Rush.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a big Smashing Pumpkins fan and Billy Corgan loves Rush. And then I sort of stopped listening a bit. And then probably I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I listened to Test for Echo, which was one of the 90s albums, I think. And I remember, I think it was, wasn't
I think so, yeah.
And I thought, I'd forgotten how good this is. I just went out and bought like all 24 albums on CD. You know?
As you do.
Someone's buying CDs.
Yeah, it's me.
The only person buying CDs.
And several times now, I have like listened to, I think there's not 24, I think there's 19. I've listened to them all in like order, just because you got to for 19 consecutive nights.
I mean, they're worth listening to you for just for Geddy's bass.
Yeah.
Because it's so inventive and imaginative.
Yeah. And he's currently in my head because I'm teaching someone to play YYZ.
Oh yeah.
I say teaching. You know, yeah. I'm giving him the tab, and I'm saying, you know, but and he's just such a cool bloke, I think.
Yeah, is he Canadian?
Yeah.
Yep.
From Canada?
Yeah. Oh no, what have I done? Sorry, Danny. I walked into that one.
Is he going to be providing vocals as well?
No.
He can do backing.
No, he can sing.
I mean backing vocals.
Backing vocal. Yeah, backing vocal. Yeah. He'll do the high harmony.
We're allowing backing vocals, you see. I'd say almost every single YouTube video that I put out, there's a comment in some way saying, I didn't realise Geddy Lee was playing guitar.
You haven't got the right glasses though. If you had those little small, he wears them like he wears them.
I've just got that. Sorry.
He wears them round ones, doesn't he? You want to get some round ones and do a YouTube video, and then watch the comments.
Yeah,
it's either that or Stephen Wilson. They're the two comments.
Have you listened to his Album Years podcast?
No.
I didn't know he did a podcast.
Yeah. The pick a year, him and one of the guy who was in one of his star projects with him. What's it called?
Porcupine.
No. One of the something man, isn't it? And they take a year and talk about the albums from that year. But I'm afraid, I love that. I mean, Stephen Wilson was probably one of my man crushes for quite a while, but then I realised that he doesn't like Pearl Jam, so I'm afraid he can be a bit very opinionated. And I like that, but some of the stuff he says just really started to annoy me.
But you know what? He's made some incredible music.
Yeah,
I've seen him download. I think I saw him.
You? Right.
I saw him in Birmingham. But,
that's Porcupine Tree. I saw him as part of that.
I saw him on which album would it be? I don't think it was Hand Cannot Erase. It might be the one before.
Raven.
In
Wolverhampton.
That's
amazing album.
Fantastic it was.
Yeah.
That album.
Was Guthrie must have been playing with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled up Guthrie about one of his solos.
I know.
Hey, do you remember on that documentary? I was thinking,
he's got some balls.
Is he?
You know what? He knows what he wants, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
he knows what he wants. You've got to respect him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's got a very singular vision, but
with that comes deficiencies.
I've got to do him out to criticise him. But there are some things that starting to happen with his music that is making it all start to sound the same.
Yeah, well,
it's got very samey sound in some of it.
What's that pop album that he did?
Oh, I
went to go and see him on that tour.
Did you?
Yeah,
I didn't like that album at all.
He was better live because it was a bit more rocked up. But he had Alex Hutchins on guitar.
Oh, yeah. The guy does the Boss demos.
Yeah, he was flipping scary player. Yeah. Really, really good.
He's had that, what's his name? Alexei Surtsinov or something. Another guy that's played with him. He was on the last album, I think. Oh, what's his name?
Is everyone enjoying the tea, by the way? Yes. Licorice and peppermint.
Oh, right.
You enjoying it?
Yeah,
it's a great combination.
It's a lovely little combo, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, where were we?
Rock and roll.
From me to bring us back, it's your podcast, yeah.
Talking about...
If we want to talk about tea, we'll talk about tea.
Yeah. No,
so the dream bass player, Geddy Lee. Yeah. Have you seen Rush?
No, again, there you go. There's another one that I wish I'd seen, yeah.
Oh, so a few of these band members you've not seen then?
No.
So that's a nice little...
Yeah, but they've obviously influenced a lot of, how I think and what I do, I guess.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So...
But Geddy's biography, I've got it. I haven't started reading it yet. I need to get into reading it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a life he must have had.
I know. When you think about his parents and sort of going through the Holocaust and then sort of getting to, it's just, I've read some other Rush biographies. It's an incredible story. Well, basically for him and Alex Lifeson.
Yeah.
But so there we go, Geddy in his voice.
I think I might go back and listen to some Rush again because it's been a little while.
You know what? I need to go and scratch that itch as well.
Yeah. I mean, I like some of the synthy stuff.
Yeah, I do as well. I'm a big fan of synth.
What's it? What's the album called? It'll come back to me. But some of when they first started the more synthy stuff, there was still enough guitar. But really good.
Yeah,
really
it's got to be primarily guitar for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think if you read some of the stuff about the Rush synth years, you'd think there was no guitar.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of guitar.
There's a lot of guitar,
It's
yeah.
just not as distorted and it's not quite as up front.
Yeah.
But it's still all there if you listen,
Well,
particularly on headphones.
It's just the time, wasn't it? Really? Like,
Yeah.
The synth back then wasn't subtle, was it?
No.
Yeah, I mean, they all did. I mean, Van Halen did it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, biggest
Yeah.
song they did.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's...
I mean, before this, we've just been listening to some Michael Bolton, and that's got some pretty heavy synth lines in there
Yeah.
as well.
I love Michael Bolton.
We're having a good sing, weren't we, Danny?
Yeah.
We'll put some in post.
That was my hint there.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we're moving on.
Okay, so we've already said that you're going to be the rhythm player.
Yeah.
With little sprinklings of
Yeah, little
lead.
sprinkling, some melody.
What
Some
about
melody.
it?
Yeah.
You're going to have a dream lead guitarist then?
Yeah,
Is that what you're going to go for?
impossible to pick.
Yeah.
Such
It is
a
for
hard
me,
one, isn't it?
Because there's just live guitar and the people that play it, so it's hard. But thinking, how could I not say Jimmy Page? But I haven't.
So, how could you not say him?
How could I not say Richie Sambora? Because Bon Jovi were the first real proper hair metal rock band that I
Yeah.
started to get into.
That's where I learned pinched harmonics from.
There you go. Yeah,
Was it?
I always
Was it? Yeah,
wanted.
yeah.
Can you remember he played that white Strat with the Floyd Rose and the star inlays?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted one of those guitars so much. Then I thought, how could I not say? So I mean, the first thing that really got me into rock guitar was Bryan Adams, right? So how could I not say Keith Scott? 'Cause
Yeah.
he's the perfect example of serve the song.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Tone as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm not saying any of them. So I thought to myself, it's lead guitar in some ways for me is not just about the playing,
Yeah.
it's the attitude. So I've got to go Dave Navarro.
Oh, okay. Jane's Addiction.
Yeah. Chili
And-
Peppers.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you did the years John Frusciante
Yeah.
was out,
yeah.
didn't he?
Well, One Hot Minute is one of my favourite Chili Peppers albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because it's so different to all the others.
Dave Navarro.
Yes. He's been around as well. He's done.
Yeah.
He did an album with Glenn Hughes as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was like a solo
You
project or something.
always love bringing Glenn Hughes up, you do.
Yeah.
Am I
Every
not allowed to bring him up?
podcast. I might start banning him.
No more Glenn.
Well, he did a very good solo album in his stupor of the drug years. I think I'm allowed to say that.
Well, I think he would say that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. And he did a very good album of a band he put together called the Panic Channel, which is worth
Oh, I've not
checking
heard
out.
of them.
We'll check these out.
He has got attitude though, hasn't he? He's got
Oh, yeah.
And so he has the attitude because I can't have that. So he does
Yeah.
it for me.
So he replaces that for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Jane's Addiction at last. There's a band that I've mentioned that. So I saw him on unfortunately not like in the heyday, but I saw him on when they did the Strays album when they made the comeback.
Yeah.
In the 2000 something. So at Rock City, Religious Experience, seeing Dave Navarro with his foot up on the monitor,
Looking cool as
playing all
fuck.
those riffs, playing Oceanside and whatever else. Just I was just in awe of the man. Yeah,
Memorable,
okay.
yeah.
because
Is it
I
the
just
white
think-
Custom 24? Was
yeah,
that it?
PRS player as well. Yeah, plays a black one as well now. I mean, I must admit, I do like the Ibanez he used to play as well.
Oh, I didn't even know he played in others.
Ritual, the Habba, whatever it's called. He had Ibanez then painted with some of the album artwork,
Okay.
which I believe went quite missing, and he found it in some storage place not that long ago. I think that's right.
Oh, right,
He didn't
okay.
know. He thought he had gone. And he found it.
But he
again.
found it in storage.
Yeah. So that was one of the guitars where I know this is not a family. Well, it is a bit of a family show, but he was known to use a vibrator.
It's not a family show, by the way. So
okay,
you're fine to mention.
To get sounds and stuff going. Yeah, he's done that plenty of times. Yeah. That's not something I'd ever do on stage, I don't think. Yeah. Not when I'm
Leave it
playing
to-
an orchestra, but
Yeah, it's definitely unique, isn't it?
No, and the other reason is my very, very slight claim to fame, and I've never met him.
Okay.
Right, but again, you see, you said I was modest, but I'm going to tell this. Right, so 2000, I think it must have been 2004 and then 2005, Russ and I played, one year we played some East Coast gigs, acoustic,
Yeah.
and then the following year we did some more on the other side, right? And we played at the Rainbow, the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Oh, wow.
Like Motad's, Lemmy's place.
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
the Lemmy's tag, right?
Yeah.
And God, that was an event in itself. I tell you, God, it was packed. Not the room we were playing in, but the downstairs was. So you we went up to this upstairs attic room. It was like a glorified open mic, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But we were going to play a reasonable set, and it was just funny because we were like setting up and getting ready, and this like big like Hell's Angel guy comes up. This is not the story. This is another one. And he's like, I'm not going to do an American accent. I can't do it. I can't. We got some music tonight. And like Russell is there. Russell is there, absolutely shitting himself, right? Because this guy was built like, I think, well, if he's going to stand and watch it, I don't care, you know. Luckily, he went. But anyway, the point is that afterwards, we were walking through the bar, and I didn't hear this, but Russell told me, clearly heard it. Some woman say about me, "Is that Dave Navarro?"
Oh.
Claim to fame.
You're like,
because and no one could. I've had this little beard a while, and at the time I had shorter hair, which he got in the Chili Peppers sort of period, a bit like, and I got a waistcoat on and a shit, you know.
Yeah.
And I've dined out on that for years. Yeah. I thought, God, come on! If someone's going to compare me, because I mean, he's still. I know I don't know how old he is now, mid-50s. He's not that much ahead of me, but he's always been he was a good-looking bloke.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought, I'll take that.
You got to take that one.
It's a good job she didn't come speak to me, because the thick Nottingham accent, it would have ruined it. You know,
like,
well, where's he from?
You have to do your American accent. Which,
I'd have to practice it. Yeah.
We've all heard now.
I mean, if nothing else ever happens for me, I can say someone once thought I was Dave Navarro.
Mate, at least you're getting compared to Dave Navarro. I'm getting compared to Geddy Lee.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I think you're like the hobgoblin goblin.
Thanks, mate.
Anytime. So, as a guitarist, Simon, do you have a dream instrument, either that you've had in the past or that you covet from afar?
I'm very fortunate that I've owned a lot of guitars.
He has owned a lot of guitars.
Well, he has as well.
And
He's owned more than me.
I'm slightly older than him, so I think I've probably owned more.
It's not a competition, guys.
I know it's not,
You can only play one at a time.
And I mean, also been fortunate that in the past, I've had a much better paying job than the one I've got now. But I'd teach for the love.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, no, I do. But yeah, so I'm quite fortunate that I've owned a lot of Paul Reed Smiths.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is still the pinnacle.
The ultimate.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like 3 over there.
Yeah.
4
with that one.
Yeah.
Any more, Danny, you want to point out that I might have missed?
Yeah.
No.
Only the ones he's hidden, so no one knows he's got them. Yeah.
Have you got a certain one, though, that is your baby?
The best like electric guitar that I've ever owned is a PRS DGT, which is the David Grissom signature guitar, who's a Texas guitar player, session guy, played with loads
everyone.
of people. Yeah, everyone. Yeah. That's probably the best. That's probably the best guitar, full stop, electric wise, that I've ever owned. I've been lucky in the past. Like Danny, I've had like times when I've had 3 or 4. Well, I said I've got 3 now, but
but you can't hold on to them all, can you? You have to keep kind of like, I'll let this one go.
There was a period, like when I say when Russell and I sort of turned more to being like just acoustic. I didn't have any PRS. I had 2 single cuts that I'd quite heavily modified. One of them, spent a lot of money on it. I think I was, which in some ways is it's dissimilar to the way I've been feeling again recently, but I was a bit disillusioned in electric guitar and sold them. Got crap money for them.
What, like, you mean like these ones?
Yeah. I had a gold top, one of the very first ones, a gold top, and I had a Sunburst one, was it a McCarthy Burst one that I put. Sorry, Guitar Geekery. That I put those Gibson P94 pickups in. You know, the P90 size, the humbucker size P90s.
Oh, you put them in it, did you? Okay.
Yeah, what's it? Callum at Zebra did that for me.
Callum? Flipping out.
Zebra
I've known his name
music.
for years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Callum.
Yeah.
Memory unlocked. I just remembered Callum again. Where's he been recently?
Yeah, so I sold... one of them went to buy my first Gibson acoustic. The other one, I can't remember. I just, sold it. I remember to someone in Cornwall, I think he lived. Not that that matters, but there we go. But
Some details that matter.
Yeah.
Hi to the man in Cornwall.
Yeah. If you've still got that guitar, you never know.
It was a bargain.
I'm going to tell you this, that I traded that guitar, that Sunburst PI single cut with Mark at Ashbourne at Guitars For You, traded it for a G&L Tele-style guitar, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, quite an expensive one, though. Didn't like that. Sold that, went back. Luckily, had not sold my PRS and bought it back off it.
Oh, okay.
And then I sold it again.
Yeah.
For a stupid amount of money.
Well, I mean, I had that one. I had that and then sold it to Rich.
Yeah.
and then
You brought it back.
Yeah,
He brought it back.
Yeah,
The weird things that guitarists do, eh?
Yeah. But the one last thing I'll say, because again, I'm going on too much, but nearly the best guitar that I've ever owned, talking about...
Almost.
Almost, but not quite. But talked about Alex Van Halen drumming.
Yep.
I had an Eddie Van Halen, I think Danny knows this, an Eddie Van Halen Music Man signature guitar in pink, but it wasn't like pink. It was more red, but it got an amazing like quilt maple top, but the best neck on any guitar that I've ever owned. And if it had not got a Floyd Rose on it, I wouldn't have sold it. I sold that to buy my first Les Paul.
Yeah.
And ended up with 3 Les Pauls at that point. But
very different.
yeah. I was really getting into Pearl Jam then, so I wanted Les Pauls.
Yeah.
But, right, so let me just tell you this. You don't have to include this, but I'll tell you. That I sold that to a butcher from Ashbourne. They're not there anymore.
Was he actually a butcher?
He was actually a butcher.
You just said he was a butcher.
No, he was he was the son of the butcher. I think they've shut down now, so... Okay. I reckon I paid... that was the last one in the country when I bought it at the old price. So I reckon I paid £1,000 for it.
Okay.
Right? And I think I sold it to him for £650.
Oh, Simon, I feel your pain.
Yeah. And you know how much they are now? Even the pink ones, which are not the most popular colour. There's a lot get sold in Japan, $4,500. And if you've got an amber one, which is was Eddie's number one almost, you're talking 6.
Wow.
You know. So if there's one guitar that I regret selling, it's that one.
Did they have the bird's eye maple neck?
Yeah, incredible bird's eye maple. Yeah.
So a very lucky butcher in Ashbourne.
Yeah. I mean,
big shout out to you.
Yeah.
Great bargain you got yourself.
I bet he had to sell it. At some point. Yeah. He probably got less for it than I sold it to him. Yeah.
The meat business went downhill. He had to sell it.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And we're on to your final pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I might know where this is going, to be honest.
Yeah, this is easy.
It's your dream vocalist.
Yeah.
I mean, shall we guess, Danny?
Well,
it's going to be...
I don't want to guess because I don't want to ruin it, but maybe you should do it. If you got an honourable mention?
There's loads. Sorry. There's loads again in there. I mean...
there is, yes. There's lots of
from
singers.
From my background, Chris Cornell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as a singer, don't really get much better than that, does it?
Well, it must do because you picked someone else.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chris.
As a singer, I'd have to, because I'm a massive David Bowie fan, right?
Yep.
Many tears shed there a few years ago. I mean, I could still remember, read it or heard it on the radio, walked downstairs, got to the bottom step of the stairs and started crying and said to my wife, "You're not going to believe it, David Bowie's died." Because nobody knew that he was ill, really. So
what was actually?
No, he did an album, didn't he?
Some form of cancer. I can't remember what he saw now. Yeah,
he was quite young, wasn't
he? He did an album, then died.
Yeah, he did an album, and then basically like a week later, it probably wasn't that quick, but it was.
No, it seemed really quick, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Black Star is just.
That's it, Black Star.
That's the one.
Incredible album, incredible. But he could sing in so many different styles, and he reinvented himself so many times. And I don't want to get too esoteric, but since I used to be like a big hair metal fan, right?
All right.
There's a guy called Ray Gillan, right?
Okay.
Now, he was in a band called Badlands. That's what he's most known for with Jakey Lee.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of the band.
Now, the first album is really good, but they were like me and Bob Lane have talked about this. Badlands were like a transition band for me out of Bon Jovi, Poison, Cinderella, all that like hair metal stuff into, I'm not going to say the G word, alternative rock.
Yeah. Why won't you say the G word?
Because it's bullshit.
Grunge?
Yeah.
I'm saying it.
You can say it if you want. Yeah. I'm going to have to go and wash my ears out now.
You're not a fan of the word grunge, then?
No, I hate it. Yeah. Because it's just, it was just used to just talk shit. Anyway, sorry. I've sworn twice there. Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Grunge.
You're one of them wind-up merchants.
I simply like to antagonise.
Yeah. No, so Ray Gillan was in Badlands. So the first album was very well regarded, but their second album, Voodoo Highway, it's like full-on blues rock. Production...
Oh, Danny'd love this then.
Dry as a bone.
It's right on my street.
Dry as a bone. It's basically... It's like Van Halen, right? But if they were from the land of country music, you know what I mean? Like it's very
Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not. I'm not explaining that very well, but it's really raw.
Okay.
Right. It's basically drums, bass, vocal in a room, dry as a bone. Like you said, guitar one side, bass the other, drums in the middle.
Yeah.
Jobs it out.
Yeah. It's like it's free, the band Free.
Yeah.
On steroids. You know, it's that sort of thing. You should listen to it. So the first
I'll have a
album
listen.
is a bit more, in my opinion, is a bit more hair metal, but Voodoo Highway. So Ray Gillen, incredible voice. Now, have you guys... God, I'm really geeking out. Did you watch like American Idol and all that?
Yeah.
Because I think...
Well, when it was first out, I don't know if it's
somebody
still
on
going,
one of those American versions of whatever Pop Idol sang When I'm Down and Feeling Low. That was a Badlands. That was one that Ray Gillen sang.
Yeah.
Like an a cappella thing almost. I think there was some bit of guitar on it. So some people, when I say it, recognise that from that. But just an incredible vocalist who should have been massive, but he died really young. He died of an age-related illness in the end. But he was treated shockingly bad by the label on that, yeah. But he was in Black Sabbath for a very short time.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Black Sabbath in 1986, and they recorded an album, but because of like inter-band politics and that, it was never released.
Oh.
Oh,
So
wow.
if that had come out...
So has that still never come out?
I'm not sure. I'm not enough of a Black Sabbath aficionado to know that. But
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
So if that had been released, he would have shot to international fame.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
Bloody hell.
as it stands, people only really know him from Badlands. But that second album, Voodoo Highway, you should
I'll
definitely
definitely
listen
check
to
it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Bolton tried out for Black Sabbath.
No, he didn't.
You're having a laugh.
I'm not having a laugh.
Did he
I'm
really?
telling the truth. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Well, that would have been...
Was it Dio got the job instead? Was it that era?
I'm not sure
I think
of
it
the
probably would have
timeline.
been, wouldn't it?
Go on, ask me the question then.
Oh, we know who it is. Especially since it's not part of your honourable mentions. So,
Yeah.
who is your dream vocalist?
Sir Edward Vedder.
Eddie Vedder.
Yes, we thought it might be.
Even flow.
Oh, my ears.
He's like the original Scott Stapp.
Oh.
I
loved Creed. I'm not going to lie. I loved Creed.
We also love Creed. You're part of the club, don't worry.
Yeah,
We love Creed.
I get that comparison, but Creed are a much more metal band than Pearl Jam. Which
yeah.
really used to annoy me. But lots of things annoy me. But yeah, it's got to be Eddie. I mean, we've just been to watch him in Manchester a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Danny said you've been recently, yeah.
And he was struggling, he was ill. And then they cancelled the London show, and then they cancelled the 2 nights in Berlin. And apparently he was in a really bad way. Couldn't breathe. It was like close to like hospitalisation. So whether it was COVID or... They've never actually said.
Yeah.
But someone else in the band also got it. So,
okay.
It probably is something like
like
COVID,
that,
I imagine.
like an RSV or whatever they call it, like a respiratory virus. But,
yeah.
So you could tell they did 4 songs, I think, 4 or 5, and I thought he's not like quite going for some of these notes. And then he actually stopped at the start when he said, "Oh, blah blah. I'm struggling a bit. So I really need you to tell me tonight." And the crowd went, "Oh," and he said, "No, I really need you to tell me, otherwise I don't know that I can carry on." And me and my wife look at each other, and I'm thinking, 10 years since I last saw her. This can't be happening.
Come
now.
on, Eddie.
Yeah.
But so they then played. I don't know if you know the song Porch. There's got, when they do it live, it's got a massive like jam in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So he went off stage, obviously went and had some medication, and I thought for the last sort of second 2/3 or whatever, second 2/3, you know what I mean? He was. You could tell he was like he wasn't really going for something, and the crowd were belting out like Once and Alive and all that. So he didn't need to sing, but it was still a crap. The fact that at like 60, he can still belt that out like that.
You got to think about
when
age.
he's not very well, when he's obviously seriously quite poorly.
I'll mention it again though. Watch that video of Axl Rose did it with the other day. And the deterioration there is...
Yeah,
it's
well,
bad.
the Glastonbury performance. I remember when Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 came out, and I just devoured it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. Because you think, why should he give up?
Because he sounds shit.
Yeah, but if he wants to keep doing it and sound shit, that's up to him, innit? But I can't watch it.
No, you got the choice, haven't you?
Yeah, you have.
I'd never go and choose to watch Guns N' Roses anymore because it's just not the same, is it?
No.
It's kind of ruining the...
No, you'd be better going and watch Slash with Miles Kennedy, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. It is sad. I was cringing on that Glastonbury set.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And it's like, you think to yourself, that band were like ultra dangerous. You know, like when I was a teenager and those 2 albums, because I was like slightly, Appetite was just a little bit before me.
Yeah.
So Use Your Illusions 1 and 2, I was like massively into it. But they were dangerous still then. Effing and Jeffing was like incredible. It's nothing now, but then it was like, and their whole attitude and everything.
I know.
Yeah, it's his turning up late to shows and all that sort of stuff that does
just so disrespectful.
Yeah, but he's always done that.
Yeah,
though.
he has always done that. Yeah.
Always done that. I was at Download when they turned up late and it caused a riot.
Oh, God.
So I'll bring that back to Eddie.
Yeah, back to Eddie.
No, I was just going to say, because you say about his attitude and that.
Yeah.
Well, like, to me, and I'm never going to meet him, I don't think.
I was going to ask if you actually
No,
met him.
I've never met him, and I'm probably never going to meet him. But, you know, like, we all, like, get a band that we feel like, I don't care if this sounds cheesy, but they're, like, speaking to you. Us, aren't they?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, I sort of straight away, when I was doing my A-levels and we were in the, like, common room and we got 10 on, he just, like, spoke to me.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know the bloke, but sometimes that sincerity, particularly from, I hate to say from Americans, you just know it's a load of crap. But I'd want to believe that he means every word he says.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like it's coming from a very genuine place. I don't feel like it's put on or anything. Like, you go and see some bands, oh, we love you guys, oh, you're the best, oh, the best guy. He said that every night. I feel like when Eddie Vedder says something, it's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
And he means it. Right?
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah. And, I mean, I get why some people don't like it, and I don't generally, but I think he means it. If he doesn't, I'll be very upset.
Because you've believed him all these years.
Yeah, I believed him all these years.
You believed in Eddie.
Vitology in particular, the third album, it got me through a lot of difficult stuff. And you think that album, God, it's very depressing. But it was the anticipation for next album to come out that you get. It's just,
Yeah.
more than any other band I've ever has just been there for me with him.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what music's supposed to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's supposed to...
It's a healer.
Yeah, of course it is.
So I think, he just speaks to me, man.
That's one hell of a powerful band, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm worried
it?
that has Dave Navarro ever played with Geddy Lee?
Not that I've heard of any.
I know. The only reason I'm saying that is because Dave Navarro did some stuff with Taylor Hawkins a few months before Taylor Hawkins died, and Taylor Hawkins has done some stuff with Geddy Lee, but I think I'm all right there. I think I'm all right.
I'm just giving it giving it a quick
I wish I had
Google.
not brought the suggestion up now.
Give it a Google.
Give it a Google.
Oh, hang on. NHC, the Taylor Hawkins, Dave Navarro supergroup.
Yeah, I don't think Geddy had anything to do with that.
No,
it was Chris Chaney, I think.
They had a track inspired by Rush, but not...
So I think I'm all right.
We're in the clear.
I think so.
Hang on.
Don't tell me. Tell me later.
We're in the clear.
We're in the clear.
We're in the clear. We're not deleting the podcast right now. Because I would have done.
Now, you see, that would have been difficult, because if I'd have said Chad Smith, he played on Eddie's solo album. Inadvertently, I've saved myself there.
Should we summarise these choices?
Yeah, let's go for it. So, your dream drummer.
Alex Van Halen.
Your lead guitarist.
Dave Navarro.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'll just stand at the back and let them get on with it. Yeah. I'll play rhythm.
So,
With a
rhythm
little bit of
guitar,
lead.
Simon Clements.
And your bassist.
Geddy Lee.
And your vocalist,
Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder.
Excellent.
What
and
a band.
we've got backing vocals from pretty much every member, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a banging band.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome band.
Thank you.
Name your dream band, baby.
Yeah, this is quite a hard bit, isn't it?
Yeah. There's only one thing I can come up with. So, and this is cheesy.
Do
For
it.
a lot of people. But anyway, I'm going to say I don't really care anymore. So, my first band, when I was sort of 14, 15, we did one gig. I thought we played two original songs, a Doors cover, and something else. I wrote the two original songs, you see, straight away.
There you go. Back when you were 14.
We were called Mr. Ben, after the cartoon of the sort of child's program of the same.
yeah.
You know, where Mr. Ben used to go into the changing rooms and he'd go into everywhere. And I always thought, and Andy, the drummer at the time, he was quite into art, and he did this really cool like bass drum, kick drum artwork. And I still think to this day that band should have got somewhere just for that artwork he did. So I'm going to have to call it Mr. Ben. I don't care.
Mr. Ben.
Yeah, Mr. Ben with two N's.
Okay, it's very sad times. We're at the end of the podcast.
This is the bit we always struggle with, isn't it?
Yeah, this bit could take between 10 minutes and 50 minutes.
Oh,
This
yeah.
bit could.
In this case, you'll be grateful to give your ears a rest from me rabbiting. You see what I mean? You wind me up on music, and I could just keep going on.
Well,
Well, that's why you're on.
Thank you.
It makes it easier for us because we can just sit here
I mean, at
and
first
listen.
we always thought like at first maybe we wouldn't get enough content out of people.
Yeah,
but
it's
you know,
difficult.
we-
Yeah.
It's been brilliant, mate. I thought
Thank you.
You picked a brilliant lineup.
Yeah, great band.
Brilliant lineup.
Well, we're respectful. That
You've
is
got our
That-
seal of approval.
definitely.
Thank you.
Whatever that means.
It means nothing.
I'll put it on my website. Recommendations.
It's effectively worthless. But
It is worthless.
So where can we find you on social media? Where can the listeners find you?
So I mainly use Instagram.
Yep.
which is, and I still had to write it down, is Guitar Geek Simon.
Guitar Geek Simon,
Yeah, Guitar
cool.
Geek Simon. And then I've got a website which I'm trying to now get back into doing more with it, and I've just had to pay for it. So, which is guitargeek.me.uk.
Cool.
Started trying to put some. I had some really pretentious photographs taken for these new acoustic songs I'm doing. So there's some pictures up there.
Are you like in the middle of a bush or something, or up a mountain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, right in my garden. Yeah. But it turned out all right. So they're the two main places. I mean, well, I only use Facebook these days because it just puts your posts automatically on there, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. And is that where people can find you for your guitar lessons and so on as well?
Yeah, so on my website there's a dedicated section for all things about guitar.
Very
lessons.
organised.
Brilliant.
Guitar, bass, ukulele, anything with strings.
And anything on YouTube at all?
Yes, I've got a YouTube channel, which confusingly is at Clembo3, the number 3, RC, because it was 3 Ring Circus and I need to change it.
That's an old school one, isn't it?
I think actually, if you search for Guitar Geek Simon and don't put on his basses, and I think I might come up still with that. But you can get some YouTube content.
Okay, free website,
From
your socials, yeah.
I think you can rename your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
So
probably,
I think I had to do it.
I need to get around to doing it.
What was yours called before, Danny?
No, I went through a...
Danny Wolfhammer?
No. Oh, what a great idea. It's when I was going to transition from using my own name to doing Totally Radical Studios.
Oh, okay.
So I changed it for a little bit and then it just didn't.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing
It didn't take.
It just didn't. No, nobody knew what was going on. So I was like, let's just go back to what I was doing before.
Fair enough.
Anyway, it's enough about me. It's been brilliant having you, mate.
No
and
worries.
it's nice to catch up and I look forward to hearing new music.
Yeah, same. And
let us know when it's out.
Yeah, keep us updated
Will
when
do.
stuff's
Thank
out.
you. It's been great. I've enjoyed doing it, even though it was really hard work trying to work out who to leave out.
Yeah,
Well, that's the joy of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the joy of the show.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Cheers,
Thanks for
no
coming
worries.
down.
Thanks for having me on.
And we'll see you soon.
All right.
Cheers, dude.
Bye.
Well, there's Simon's episode.
I thought you did that voice. Wow.
I enjoyed that episode, dude.
Oh, it was brilliant. What a great catch up. And
know.
a great guy.
Again, someone I've not seen for many years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We had a guitar meet up probably a year or so ago.
Like a little
something
guitar,
like that.
a guitar play date.
Well, what do you think of Simon's choices?
Well, let's go through them and review them individually first.
Let's start with the drummer.
Alex Van Halen.
Indeed. And it serves the song.
Serves a song. You got nothing else you'd like to say about
No,
him?
he's a rock solid drummer. And he locks in beautifully especially with his brother at the time.
Well, I'm not really a big Van Halen fan, if I'm honest. That might surprise you.
Oh, you're just trying to get at me because I was talking about Prince.
Well, you don't like Prince? I don't like Van Halen. Well, yeah, no, they're not. Van Halen aren't my thing.
I'm a Van Halen fan, and I've always paid more attention to the guitar, being a guitarist. But the drums they've been rock solid.
You've never thought them drums are a bit rubbish?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Not
That's
at all.
good. That's decent then, isn't it?
Well, we talked about a couple of tracks, Pound Cake and Hot for Teacher. There's not much going on in Eruption. I think there's one fill at the beginning,
Oh, yes.
and then he walks off stage.
It shows out for a bit.
Yeah. But, all the classics.
Yeah,
Jump, and
yeah.
we've all heard at least one Van Halen track, and you would have heard Alex playing the drums on it. And his drum sound, which Simon was talking about, he wanted a big drum sound.
Oh, yeah, we just had to listen, didn't we? And actually, it does stand out. The drums do whack you in the face.
Yeah. For that kind of... His lineup, I think having that big, powerhouse drummer...
Is the right
choice. Yeah, I think it's a really good choice.
Decent. Well, let's see who else is joining Alex Van Halen.
Well, on bass...
Geddy Lee.
Imagine that as a rhythm section. I can imagine those two playing together.
I mean, anyone's going to sound good next to Geddy as well, because he'll make them sound banging.
Totally, with that punchy tone as well.
Yeah, it's like MIDI. It's the way he plays, though. He digs in. He digs in. You can hear every note smashing against the picks, which is how I like to play personally. So,
yeah, I've noticed. Any standout tracks for you?
YYZ is probably one of my favourites.
Okay.
Don't know if Simon mentioned it or not. I think he did.
Yeah. I think he was teaching it to a student who was telling us.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but it's like a big bass solo, really. And it's perfect for Rush fans that don't like Geddy Lee's voice.
I like his voice.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, weren't we? So it's got a bit of a Coheed vibe.
Yeah.
A bit of a Claudio Sanchez vibe to him.
Maybe that's where he gets some of his inspiration from.
Probably, yeah.
Surely.
They're both proggy, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll go well with Alex Van Halen, to be honest.
Yeah.
Big punchy sounds, basically a massive rhythm section.
Huge.
Exactly what you want.
Great tones from the drums and the bass.
Yeah.
No time signature concerns.
No, bob on.
I'm assuming with this lineup, this band will mainly sit in the 4/4 realm.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Where I tend to sit.
The 4/4 realm?
Yeah.
Well, that's where it's just kind of the generic place to sit, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
The generic sofa.
Common time.
Common, peaceful, you know what you're doing with 4/4, don't you?
Who's he got on lead guitar?
It's got Dave Navarro.
Now, Dave Navarro.
Back to Dave Navarro.
Talk a little bit about, we've just
Do you want to try again?
familiarised ourselves with oh, I can't say
again.
it. We've just made ourselves aware of...
We've raised awareness.
Right. So we just had to listen to some of Dave's work in Jane's Addiction and Red Hot Chilies.
Yep.
And his funky work with Red Hot Chilies is very impressive, isn't it? You know, that high register
he
kind
fits
of...
it really well. I'd say he only did one album with them. He melds them quite well.
Funky quacks.
Yes. A multitude of funky quacks.
And his lead playing sits in that kind of bluesy rock, pentatonic blues realm as well. So that's going to, that works everywhere, really.
Everywhere?
It works everywhere.
It's a bold claim.
If in doubt...
Get your blues pentatonic out. Is that what you get?
Yeah. And then if that doesn't work,
What's
slide
that?
out.
Slide out.
Yeah.
That was my technique. I don't know my pentatonic scale, so I just slide out. The double slide is my favourite. Yeah, so I enjoyed his playing actually on Chili Peppers anyway.
Yeah. And I think probably with Simon's playing as well, that's going to be a good mix. Simon knows great tone as well. It's going to gel nicely.
Yeah, so Simon is the other guitarist.
Yes, of course. And then there's going to be plenty of backing vocals in there.
Ridiculous backing.
Yeah.
One thing I'm not too sure about is Geddy Lee's voice blending.
Will it blend?
With the mammoth voice of Eddie Vedder.
I think you're going to have people like Dave Navarro and Simon singing in the more of like the middle register.
Yep. I want to hear Even Flow with Geddy Lee's vocals.
Even Flow! Maybe you will.
I think I'll pay £1 for that.
Just a single pound.
£1 is available.
I think Geddy will just do all the upper high register with... I think it'd work.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah. Just blend him in. Blend a bit.
Blend him in. Have you got a favourite Pearl Jam track?
Jeremy, Alive is a classic, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, most of that album... Is it 10? That album?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, most of that album's just a classic. I mean, anything outside of that album, I'm probably not that familiar with.
I never listened to that album.
Well, he was in another band, wasn't he? Temple of the Dog.
Oh,
with Chris Cornell. He's like a bit of a super group. So some of that stuff's really cool.
You don't really get super groups nowadays, do you? Where are they all gone? We had Audio Slave. You know what I mean? We had like quite a few little super groups back in the day.
Black Country Communion. Super group.
Yeah. I failed to see the super in that personally. But if you like blues rock.
I think it's a rock solid lineup though.
Oh yeah, great band.
Yeah.
Great band. The question is, Danny, would you go and see it?
I would go and see it.
You would?
Yeah, because first and foremost, I've never seen Eddie Vedder.
No, neither have I actually.
I'd like to witness that.
I've never seen Geddy Lee, so that's enough for me.
Oh yeah.
That rhymed. So yeah, I'd love to go and see Geddy Lee. Obviously Simon Clements would be there to support Clemo.
Yep, indeed.
I'm not really bothered about Alex Van Halen or Dave Navarro personally. It's our podcast. We can have our own views.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bit... If it's just guitar, bass and vocals...
I prefer it.
No drums.
Oh, then you can... Okay, yeah, okay. I get your point.
Yeah.
I mean, drum machines are pretty good these days. Drum track.
It's an option. Not recommended, but it's an option.
The option's there. The play button on the keyboard.
We'd be there, Simon. Would you be there? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to check out Simon on Instagram.
Simon Clements.
His handle is Guitar Geek Simon.
Yep.
And he's got a collection of great guitar playing videos. And
honestly, they're awesome, dude.
Awesome player. And he's started sharing some original music now. His new song, Try to Forget, is also up on YouTube, so be sure to check that out.
Banging. Oh, he should be the lead guitarist, dude.
He should be the lead guitarist.
Because he's better than Dave Navarro, from what I've seen.
So. We think so.
Bold claim.
Well, another great episode, if you ask me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon, for coming on.
Thank you to our listeners.
Thank you for listening, yeah.
Like, subscribe, follow, leave a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah.
And spread the word.
5-star would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
We feed off them. Well, I suppose it's time to say goodbye, Danny.
Yeah, we don't like this bit, do we?
Do your little sign off.
Okay. Well, until next time, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We're so sorry to see you go. But thanks for tuning into the show.